The Kia EV9, it was introduced back in December in 2023, selling 14,000 units for the 2024 model in North America in 8 months. This year we're receiving a Nightfall edition which will blacken out the exterior, and we have a full GT which is going to have 122 horsepower more than the GT line. We're showcasing the 2026 Kia EV9 GT line long range in brown on black interior, an 800 volt architecture, 24-minute quick DC charge. A level 3 is going to take 8 hours and 45 minutes, and that's from 10 to 80% with nearly 8 inches of clearance. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and we're going to go over the specs for the GT line, go over the interior, and take this for a drive, throwing in some pros and cons throughout the review so you can see what the EV9 is all about. The front is going to be more distinct. 24 cubed LED projector headlights with digital features, including 5 different lighting patterns that welcome you when you approach. The lower will have a active grille shutter with the front parking sensors, the satin aluminum that's going to highlight under it, with 7 different trims to choose from. Using a level 2 is going to take about 10 hours and 50 minutes to charge it, and you're going to have a total range of 280 miles. The rugged design with a sleek aerodynamic offers a drag co-effect of 0.28, and it's cold weather ready because it has a heat pump that will help preserve the range in colder climates. And that produces 379 horsepower and 516 pound-feet of torque, reaching 60 around 5 seconds is what Kia is quoting, with a self-leveling rear suspension, 21-inch alloy wheels. You get the satin aluminum for the lower rocker, glossy black around all the window trims, and the raised roof rails that's glossy black with blind spot view monitoring that uses the cameras that's in the side view mirrors that are power folding, heated with the LED turn signal integrated. That camera is going to project on the gauge cluster, so you don't actually have to look off the road. You can just keep looking forward and you'll see the blind spot right there. Plus you still got the detection, you got the frontal collision, lane keep assist, pedestrian detection, cyclist. The damn thing can read everything in the front as well as going into the back. Oh yeah, and you can use the Tesla Supercharge here, so you can get those quicker charges if that's something that you're concerned about. LED taillights with the LED light bar, with reverse parking sensors, and an athletic stance is going to be on all 4 corners, so I appreciate that because, I mean, you're around $80,000. Is it worth the price for everything that you're getting? It is. The range is going to be a little bit tight for me because usually when I'm looking at a full EV, I typically think about Tesla, Rivian, or Lucid. But because we have such a long vehicle that has 3 rows, can fit up to 7 adults in the vehicle, I actually like this a little bit better because Tesla is not going to have something as long as this. Now Rivian will, but then the price is going to be over 6 figures, making this a sweet spot. Power liftgate going into 20.2 cubic feet of storage behind the 3rd row, and the way the bumpers are laid out, it makes it a lot more easy to get inside. But one thing I don't like is they put these covers in order to close the tailgate. I don't mind the covers for the 12 volt and obviously a home plug cover, but come on, you don't need it there. Just leave the button accessible. Underneath the floor, you got some storage for some plugs, and you have to pull these tabs here to split fold at a 50-50 split in order to increase the cargo to 43.5 cubic feet. Kia does a good job here because for the 2nd row captain seats, you just push the button, 81.7 cubic feet of storage. And what I was talking about adding all these extra covers, they do the same thing for the front. So look, you have this cover, you gotta pop it out in order to pull this up to get another 1.8 cubic feet of storage underneath the front. You just don't really need those covers. I mean, you could fit thing to take for the weekend, in which it would be a little bit easier if you didn't have to pop out a plastic piece. Because what's gonna happen later on down the road? Someone's going to end up losing this piece. The key fob to the EV9. 18-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 12-way power seat adjustment for the passenger, heated ventilated front seats, Syntec seating with the cloth headrest. It's perforated so it breathes. Memory for the driver, and here's all the switches for the heated ventilated seat and the massage seats for the driver. It's in your heated steering wheel, with a tech focus dashboard layout with the woven cloth materials here. On both sides, you have an area or a pocket that you could put a smartphone, because you wouldn't put it here on the grab handle area. But look at the leg space that you have for the passenger side with a full pass-through. It's easy for the passenger to access the 12 volt, the two USB-C ports. Open this up and you got another storage pocket. Push these, now you got cup holders. Push this EV button and let's fire it up. Heads-up display, auto-dimming rear view mirror. It's a digital rear view mirror with the home link. LED interior lighting, and it's a long panel with 3 screen layouts, and 2 of them are touch derived. With your climate control right here, you'll have the dual climate control settings for the front. And then on this side here, you'll have the touch pads that is incorporated into the dash. You'll have the haptic feel, so you'll have a little bit of a kickback with the navigation. Wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, Sirius XM AM, FM, streaming, Bluetooth audio. Click back into the home. These are your quick wedges here. You can also watch YouTube. So you can watch the review right here, and you can play video games. Put it into reverse, you're gonna feel a little bit of vibration. That's gonna be on the gear lever that's on the steering column. 360-degree reverse camera, the trajectory will expand. Front and rear parking sensors, click this sub menu, and now you have camera layouts for the towing, the side to side for the back, the full reverse camera, or you could just do it this way, as well as doing a 3D view so you can go all around the vehicle. Now when you roll it into drive, you have a new sub menu because you have the front. So the front trajectory here, you can also do it as like a car wash view. When you click onto here, you can do the side to side for the frontal view, and also the full front view, as well as the 3D view so you can go all around the vehicle yet again. The dual climate control settings, you still have physical buttons, as well as a roller to turn on and off the sound system and turn up and down the volume. A finger scanner for your finger recognition. It's going to be a little bit more sporty. It opens up. There's a little bit of storage, but really it's because we have a wireless charging pad right here. This does have your digital key 2 with a leather-wrapped steering wheel, 4-spoke, the driving modes and the terrain modes, because we have the all-wheel drive. So your driving modes here, you have a ton of different driving settings. So 4 here, as well as an additional 3 different driving modes here for your all-terrain. Multi-function, you get the paddle shifts for the regenerative braking, and the 12.3 can go through an array of different content for the driver, including when you use your indicators. You'll have the cameras that project on the side view mirrors, so you can see the objects in your gauge cluster. You don't have to take your eyes off the road if you use your indicators. And to change this gauge layout, you'll just go into setup. You can simply hit the button there, or you can hit it on the touch screen. Go into your screen layout, and then the cluster theme. You can change this here, so it'll change the design. Leg space, more than enough. Same thing with headroom. You get a moonroof. Dashboard and door card configuring together nicely. All the side windows are acoustic, as well as the windscreen. I like that we get the Meridian sound system too. That is a huge update, because when you're considering it's a Kia, you're getting something that comes in Land Rovers. It's going to be a little bit more sporty. That's the only con that I have into play here. With touch up and down for all the windows, and you get the woven cloth that comes into play with a medium-sized storage pocket. For the back seats or second row, this is the opening that you have to fit 2 more with the captain seat configuration. We have the manual sunshades for the price. I would like that to be power. And you're going to have that silver that comes into play right here, with a large grab handle, and you kind of have an area here that you could put a smartphone, because this grab handle opens up with a pretty deep storage pocket that you could fit a flask. Sitting behind me, you get the grab handle, you get the air vents, you have the soft materials for the headliner with the 3rd climate control setting in the center, and the heated and ventilated switches are on the door card. Legroom is carved out for you, plenty of storage capacity, and this is in the middle. Moving them all the way back, I'm going to have a ton of leg space and knee space and headroom. I'm going to be sitting up a little bit higher. This is a big con for me, because you can tell the difference sitting into the second row opposed to the front seats. You have a full pass-through. You got this area here, so these are full captain seat configuration. You got cup holders here, and you can always piss off the passenger by playing with them in the back seat to give yourself more leg space. USB-C ports on both. You can option the lounge chair. We have a review on one of those already. This pulls out, and you have a little table, and this opens up, to a deep storage pocket. So plenty of storage, plenty of charging capacity with hanging areas here behind both of the front headrests, and you can see how they're ventilated because of the perforated material. For third row, push the button here. It's gonna adjust forward to fit 2 more in the back. Now I've reclined this back and moved it to furthest position so you can see what it's going to look like. You're gonna have cup holders on both sides with a little tray here for some change. USB-C port, air vents here in the ceiling. Move this back. And leg space is gonna be more than enough if the seat is about halfway, but if it's all the way back and reclined, you're gonna notice I will not be able to fit back here at all. But fitting 2 adults, I don't see a problem at my dimensions at 6'3". The EV9 GT line with 379 horsepower, back with 516 pound-feet of torque, which is crazy. It's a dual motor, all-wheel drive with terrain modes, and it has the heat pump, so you shouldn't be concerned with cooler weather by losing range. It also has a self-leveling rear suspension, and that gives us a towing up to 5,000 pounds. That's a lot to take in at one. Plus your charging time goes as low as 24 minutes in a DC fast charge with the 800 volt architecture. I mean, that's just insane. Steering doesn't have much feedback. These are 21-inch wheels, so you don't feel hardly anything at all. Regenerative braking, you have maybe 5 or 6 different stages that you can use with these paddles. I'm gonna have them off and then I will turn it on throughout the review. 0 to 60 around 5 seconds. That is nuts. Now the GT is gonna be even more crazy with 122 horsepower more than this. So just imagine when we finally get our hands on one of those. When you change the driving modes, it does change the whole ride of the vehicle too. So if you leave it in sport mode, you will lose some range, obviously, because you're using the full battery capacity. But you're also going to have a lot more power whenever you mash on the gas or the electric pedal. Smooth and quiet is what I'm getting. Over $74,000, is it worth the price? I mean, for the capabilities that you get, I think it is. For the charging time, it's pretty darn good. For the interior quality, touch to feel, I like what I'm getting. It does have some more premium materials in the cabin. Plus you have 3 screens out of this 1 screen panel, so they really optimize everything. And yet you still have physical buttons. You got the haptic feel on the dashboard, and you have a pass-through plus a ton of space between everybody. Even if you have to go into the 3rd row at 6'3", as you saw in the interior, I can actually fit. Now some cons, where the hell are you gonna charge 800 volts? There's not really that many. There's maybe 5 or 10 in the whole United States. But the pro is you can use Tesla Supercharge with this car or SUV. Sound deadening is good because everything is acoustic. And now for the regenerative braking, we're gonna all the way, it literally brakes for you. So it almost feels about 35% of brake whenever you're using all the way. If you use it on level 3, it's about the same. Level 2 is more doable. I would say between level 1 and 2 is where the sweet spot is going to lie for the everyday use. Or you could just simply leave it in 0, so that way you can just enjoy this performance. It's a wow factor. I like the Meridian sound system. I think that's awesome that we're getting upgrades that are basically in Land Rover, but you're getting it in a Kia. And when you mash on the brake, I mean, you can go through the front windscreen. Turn radius at more or less a stop point. It's a long vehicle, it's about 2 lanes. Let's rock and roll. Whoa. It literally feels like it's an airplane taking off. I mean, you can tell the weight to it, but it doesn't feel like that when you're mashing on the pedal. It just feels like that with the torque, because you have over 500 pound-feet of torque. It's freaking crazy what Kia is giving you here. I think it's definitely worth the price. I mean, anything you're going to compete with, going to Tesla, it's going to be over 6 figures. Going to Rivian, the same thing. Going to Lucid, I mean, no one's going to capture what you're getting inside this with the length unless you're going into Rivian. And at that point, you're spending around 20 to 30 grand more minimum. So why would you even go that route? Smooth driving vehicle. I mean, I can see somebody driving this daily and enjoying it, especially with 18-way power seat adjustment, and you got freaking massage seat for the driver. The con that comes into play, unfortunately, though, is you do not receive the same on the passenger side or in the back. Now, you can option features to make this a lot more luxurious, but then the price is going to scale up more towards that 80 grand pricing. And then at that point, I would say go to the GT, because you're going to get a lot more power, quicker 0 to 60, and a lot more standard features, because that's going to be the new top trim for 2026. Whereas this is kind of the mid-range trim now, even though it's packing a lot of power, but it's still underneath the Nightfall Edition. So performance up to 60 and stopping, you can do the same on both. It doesn't feel heavy on either of the two. Plus you have the range, which ticks the box to pretty much everything you would need for a daily. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out this next video right here. And I'd like to thank our friends here at Regal Kia.